may argue out of the external factors. So what can we do internally to cushion ourselves?
I think we still have not maximized the availability of food within the country and a consumption of what we produce. There's still a lot of appetite to import even food that we produce here. You have cases of maize going into waste when we are importing maize. You have cases of vegetables going into waste. We have peak seasons for different products. Right now it's peak season for fruits from different areas. A lot of them again will, I think, if we can first of all make the most of the food we produce and make it a very deliberate decision that when maize is produced, the post-harvest is improved, and therefore we collect, a lot of silos are now, almost laying bare and wasted, at 25% and, at a very low percentage of, equipping. I feel, and also with forward planning, a lot of times when even the food we are importing, if it can be imported long before, for purposes of the gaps and then stored, because it's cheaper at that point. When you import it at the point of crisis, of course, the market determines the prices. I feel that it's not even a business orientation. That appetite for just importing, and I think it's becoming ridiculous that we are importing everything, including things we can produce, including eggs, which we can produce here, fish, toothpicks, and many other things. I think if we do that, what that will do is that then it reduces our expenditure, which is, especially on foreign currency, of food. Because once you sort food problems, you've sorted a big portion. Right now, a lot of the cost of living, a lot of inflation is driven by food cost.
By food, correct.
By food cost. Then you jump to the other things of things that you don't produce yourself. Those are the ones that then you import. And you're able even to negotiate very serious prices, better prices in that. For me, I feel that's the best way. And what that does, once you invest deliberately, then you're saying, first, even households and small households are able to produce for themselves. And what they produce in excess, they know there will be a market. And therefore, they get an income. Because you're still saying, on one hand, 75% of employment, in one way or another, is still dependent on agriculture. And contribution to the economy is 25%, but declining. Agriculture contribution is declining. But a second point is also the processing, the manufacturing. I was very surprised that there's only one paragraph on manufacturing in the BPS, in the narrative section. Only one paragraph. Yet, we are saying that unless you are investing in manufacturing, all the countries we admire and want to look like have progressed on the backbone of manufacturing. Because that's when you get to make sense of your agricultural produce. You don't sell it raw. You value add it. And that's where you create now the next bulk of manufacturing. So unless you put energy and effort in those two spaces, all these others are support. Because education and training is supportive of what the economy produces. When you read the story of Singapore, of Malaysia, and all these countries, education and training came to support what was the national vision. What is it that they had purposed to do and to focus on? In Kenya, we are saying agriculture produces the most and feeds people. Put energy there, put the money there, and as I said, the budget is actually declining in that sector. For me, back to this discussion of the day, is that's what creates incomes. Because if you don't have incomes at household level, and you don't have food at household level, all these other goals then become obsolete. Because what matters to me is whether I'm able to feed my family and whether I have an income.
All right.
Yeah.